Why is this not up? There we go. Wow. For a Friday, we're starting a little rough today. How you guys doing? Live, Caskey Live, every day, 8:30. We're going to start something new next Friday, though. I'm going to do Leadership Friday. So this is only for leaders. Doesn't mean I'm going to check to make sure everybody has leader on their business card when you show up, as you usually have to check in. I just mean that my topics are going to be more leadership oriented starting next Friday. The rest of the week, still doing 8:30, but I've had quite a few leaders reach out to me over the last week or so and say, hey, can you do something for us? Can you do something from a management or a leadership standpoint? So I'm happy to oblige there. So we will be doing that. Topic today is from content to customers. And I don't know if you ever look at your business, whether you're a salesperson or a VP of sales or CEO, founder, look at your business and say, what can we do to radically shift and improve customer acquisition? Maybe you're tired of the old methods, the cold calling and the cold outreach and the email blasts, which I abhor that term. But maybe you're tired of that. Maybe you're trying to figure out another way to do this. And if you are, then I think today's episode will be helpful for you. You've heard me and you've heard others talk about the idea of creating content. And, the word content even is deceiving because what the hell does it mean? It's a catch-all for a lot of different things. It could mean a webinar. It could mean a live video like this. It could be a video you post on YouTube. It could be you calling someone up and giving a piece of advice or a piece of your mind or a piece of a white paper, a fact, a data, a statistic. That's content. I mean, it's not in the traditional sense of a written piece, but that's content. And so whenever we are saying, well, we want to generate more customers, we want more opportunities in the marketplace, and this goes no matter what business you're in. I was on a call yesterday with a podcaster who speaks to the dental world. And that's his audience, dental office managers, dentists, and they have products that'll help them build their it's a media company, build their marketing. And he said, I don't really want to talk about sales in this conversation because a lot of times dentists don't think of themselves as salespeople, and the word scares the hell out of them. And I said, okay, which I understand that. But when you look at the dental business, just like when you look at your business or the telecom business or the training and coaching business or the distribution business, it's always the same. It's always the same 4 steps. And we talked about them on Monday or Tuesday. The same 4 steps are, number 1, you have to get your brain right. You have to get your mind right. You have to get your message right. You have to get all that stuff right internally and understand what business you're even in. Number 2, you need to generate leads. You've got to go out and create something, whether it's ads or content or personal invitations to golf outings or whatever it is. You've got to generate new discussions. 3, you've got to convert those that are appropriate to convert to buyers. And 4, you've got to retain those and maybe ascend those. Maybe they grow, maybe they don't. Maybe you've got a 1 or 2 product offer and that's it. They can't grow. That's fine. But those are the 4 steps. I don't care whether you're a dentist, it doesn't matter. It's the same 4 steps. And so the question becomes, well, how do I create content, or can content be a solution for new customers? And I think it can. I think it is. In fact, I think it's the solution, and you're probably not using it properly. And so I want to share with you today a way to think about content. And maybe it's a new way, maybe it's not. You'll have to judge that. But I want you to start creating something, whether it's a live video like this or a show or a occasional YouTube. I've got several clients who do YouTubes once a week, once every couple of weeks, and then share those with their email list. And it works magically. It just works magically to open doors. That's really what content does. If you do it properly, the way I'm going to tell you today, is it opens doors. It meets people where they are versus you making 1,000 cold calls to try to book 5 coffees, to try to get 2 proposals, to get half a deal. You can write something or create something that speaks directly to that customer. So let's talk about, I'm going to show you my screen here. I thought there was not much on the screen, and then I look at it and like, there's too much on this. But anyway, So the first question you have to ask yourself is, what do they want? Your ideal client. If I woke you up in the middle of the night and said, hey, Robert, what does your client want? You should be able to recite it just like clockwork. And maybe it's not one thing, maybe it's a couple of things, but it's not 12 things. What do they want? What do they want in your niche, in your world? What do they want their life to look like? What do they want? And don't just say lower costs, because it's always deeper than that. Because whenever someone says, I'd like to pay less for this, then I would say, well, why buy it at all? Why pay zero for it? Why buy it at all? Well, I have to buy it because it's, a vital part of my business. Well, let's talk about what it does for your business. And let's see, maybe you should be paying more for it. Oh, I would never pay more for it. Why? What if it brought you twice the revenue? Or what if it saved you $1 million a year in cost? You wouldn't pay more for that? Well, yeah, I'd pay more for that. So we have to always understand that we have to know what they want. And I know that this whole, where am I going here with this? This whole idea of we don't know what they want until they ask. I think that's a pile of crap. If you've been in business for more than 6 months and you've been calling on a particular cohort of people, maybe it's purchasing, maybe it's, users, maybe it's VPs, you should know by now generally what people want. Generally, maybe not the specifics, but generally you should know. Because I think what happens is we say, well, we don't know what they want, so how can we create content that's meaningful for them? We don't know until we ask, till we sit down and ask. No, that's wrong. You do know what they want. If you've been taking notes for the last since you've been in the business, now you have to sit down and actually roll up your sleeves and do the work. You have to know what they want. So number one is, what's their current reality? What is their current reality? And number two over here is, what is their future possibility? So the transformation that you're looking for is to help them get from the far left side to the far right side. And the fact is that in between, there are steps. Maybe there's not that many. I've got 7 here. Maybe it's not 7. Maybe it's 3. But the idea with good content is you want to know where they're going, and you want to share with them a map to get there. And so first thing you have to do down the lower left there, I've got some bullets. Decide on the transformation they want from working with you. So just answer me this right now. When someone calls you up or you call them up and you have a meeting, generally if they were to tell the truth to the question that you ask of, what do you want? What do you want your life to look like after this is solved, or after this is done, or if this problem is solved? What would they say? Do you know what they would say? If you don't know what they would say, you need to go out and ask people, because that's going to be vital for your ability to create a message and even step-by-step guidance. If you don't know where they're going, you can't create a map to get there. So number two is, once you find that out, you've got to articulate it properly. You've got to be able to say something like, look, here's what I know about most VPs of sales. You look at your team and it's pretty good. You look at your team and you have a pretty good team. Maybe not everybody's making quota, but generally it's a good group of people. You're pleased with them, proud of them. You feel like, we got a good nucleus here. You look at your team and you say, we've got some people that are superstars, and we got some people that are struggling a lot. And then we have in the middle, we have some people, they make goals some years they don't. So it's the 3 groups. It's always 3 groups: top 20, lower 20, middle 60. And you want to grow those people. You don't want to start over. You don't want to fire everybody and start over. But you also know that you need to upgrade skills. You need to figure out ways that these people at the bottom can work their way up. And so that when you look at them a year from now, you say, man, I thought I had a good team then. Look at us now. Look at how far we've come. That's what most VPs of sales want. Now, they might not express it exactly that way, but if I create a video for a VP of sales, that's exactly how I'm starting it. So when you're creating content, When I say from content to customer, if you're creating content, you have to know where they're going generally, and you have to believe that you have a path to get them there. So far left, current reality, far right, future possibility. And the third one there is build a map that gets them there. That's what this is. And then do it. Help them see what they need to do. So here's an example. In my example, if I'm calling on a VP of sales and I'm delivering a message, let's say I'm shooting a video that I'm going to deliver directly to the VP of sales doorstep, whether it's direct message or however, they're going to get it. I would start the way I started, and I would say, look, the fact is that almost every VP of sales feels about the same way about the team. Good, want to do better. They want more, but they don't want to hire a buttload of people. So the question is, how do you get these people better? Well, let me give you 4 steps that I think are critical in helping that happen. Number 1, you've got to do a rigorous, honest assessment of your team. And here's what I mean by that. And then you go through what that means. Step 2, you go through what that means. You're not giving them the exact play-by-play playbook. You're giving them the general map. You're taking the 30,000-foot view and saying, okay, if that airplane wants to get from this city to this city, here's how they go, here's how they taxi, here's the route. You're looking at it from a 30,000-foot view, looking at the situation. That's what I want you to do in your content. Does it take work? Yeah. You have to know what they want. I bet you 80% of salespeople, if I ask them that question, they don't know what they want. They don't know what people want. If you doubt me, write it down right now. Take a moment, write down. You can put me on pause and just write down what do I think my customer wants, and make a long list. And don't shortcut it by saying, as I said, well, they want to save money, they want to make more, they want to have more, they have free time. Some of you will just put time. Totally don't get it. You've got to get really specific about what they want. If you don't know, how in the hell are you going to be able to communicate that message? You're not. So when you sit down to shoot a video, you're going to talk about how great I am and how many widgets we have in stock and how people just love us and they love our new website and look what we're doing here. We've got new brochures. That's what you'll say. You know what the customer will say? Oh, it means nothing to me. So if you're going to go to the trouble of connecting content to customers, you've got to speak their language. You've got to meet them where they are. And to do that, you have to know where they want to go. And I know that you all say you do, but if I were to hear, I've heard that from clients. Oh no, I know exactly how to communicate my message. And then I hear them on a webinar or I hear them on a panel discussion. I don't hear anything about this. The discussion of transformation, where you're taking your client, should be front and center every day in your life, in your business life. Because at some point you're going to show up and you're not going to have done all the prep, and the first words out of your mouth is, "I'm glad you invited me in. Tell me what you're looking for. Tell me what you want." That's a magical question. Very few people ask it. So if you're going to go from content to customers, the way you build content is to understand where people are going, where they're going, and what's the map to get there, and start sharing the map. You can even, if there's 5 steps to the map, maybe you go through 5 steps and then you say, hey, I'm going to go a little bit deeper in each one of these steps over the next few weeks. Make sure you connect with me on LinkedIn and I'll make sure that you get a copy of this. So you can turn one video with the map into 4 or 5 videos where you go a little bit deeper. I do not want you to solve the problem for them. I want you to have them look at the problem in a way that causes them to say, oh, you know what? I need to call Jerry. Yeah, he's got a real simple process and I think it's going to work, but I don't have time to do it myself. See, we always think that, well, we can give them too much. And if we give them a lot, then they can go fix it on their own. Well, if they could fix it on their own with knowledge, they would already have fixed it by now, because we have this thing called Google. So if you think all you are is a knowledge purveyor and selling knowledge, and you think people are going to pay for that, they're not. What they pay for is implementation. They pay for the transformation through implementation. They want to get here. They are here now. They want somebody to help guide them along the way and help make the steps easier. So one more time, we'll look at this: current reality, future possibility. These are the 4 things. I want you to get clear on what these steps are, so that when you create content, you can start by saying exactly what I said today. Are you trying to figure out a way to get clients without cold calling? Remember I said that? And maybe sometimes you feel like, man, we just got to find another more modern way. A lot of people feel that way. You may not, but a lot of people listening do. And so if I capture their attention by meeting them where they are and talking about the transformation, here's probably what you want. You want to generate more customers. You don't want to do cold calling all day to do that. Then you might have had interest. So start your videos or start your content with transformation. Where are they looking to go? How are you going to get them there? Go to BillCaskey.com. You can also go to, I always forget to put this up, Bold Moves, 12boldmoves.com. It's a book that I recently came out with. Yes, it costs you money. Yes, there's a fee for it. You got to get out your credit card to buy it. It's $19.97. It's an ebook. I think it'll change the way you sell. There's 12 things in there. I tell you exactly how to execute each of these. I tell you exactly the pitfalls. It's about a 45-page book, about 3 or 4 pages per point. If you execute those bold moves, you will thank me for only charging you $19.97, because it's probably worth $9,970, whatever that is, 100x. Anyway, 12boldmoves.com. I will see you next week. Have a great weekend.